You're now listening to the JCA Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor. To the JCA Sports.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're better now. I think we're good. I think we figured out the problems. The JCA Sports Podcast is back. We do apologize for the stop and starts that we have going on our Facebook, guys, and on YouTube, and also on our TikTok page. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. We do apologize for technical difficulties. This is what happens when you're trying to do something different, and the technology just fails for you. And also, Eric Avila, Jose Contreras here. Bears victory Monday. Take two. Take like 5 on TikTok. Thank you guys for joining us on TikTok, guys. And everybody on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you follow and subscribe to all our channels on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and also on TikTok, where we're also live as well. And for the TikTok people, hello, welcome. Welcome to the Bears victory Monday, and welcome to the JCA Sports Podcast. We were on our first take. We were talking about the Chicago Bears and their victory yesterday, and how Caleb Williams looked like what Caleb Williams is supposed to look as a rookie, with decent numbers, a touchdown here and there, no interceptions. The running game looked great. He actually threw a touchdown to his number one wide receiver in DJ Moore. But our question of the night that we have going on, moving on from the Rams Bears game, is we posted a question: is Justin Fields? I'm not Justin Fields. I know Mas. Look at what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you missed Justin Fields.
I really don't. Did the Bears end up picking up the right quarterback in Caleb Williams? Obviously, going back, him being the number one draft pick, Heisman winning quarterback 2 years ago. But his performance has been subpar, but improving. But improving for the last 2-3 games. As for Jaden Daniels, he's actually been, one of the top quarterbacks in the league in the first 4 games in the rookie. Why? You have him on your fantasy football team. That's why, right?
Yes, sir.
but why is that, Jose? And let's answer the first question first. Do you think the Chicago Bears made a mistake in drafting Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels?
No, there was an article I read about this very subject, and from what I read, a lot of Jaden Daniels' success has a lot to do with Cliff Kingsbury. He was able to bring the college game to that offense and which has helped Jaden Daniels tremendously.
Yeah.
But what starts to happen when he starts to feel that pressure? What starts to happen, Eric, when he goes against a really good defense and he's running for his life?
Yeah.
He hasn't had that yet.
No.
Caleb Williams has had that from the start. And the reason being is because the Chicago Bears, they're not trying to cater to what Caleb Williams did in college.
Yes,
they're
sir.
trying to bring the NFL experience live in the NFL with Caleb Williams, trying to see exactly what he can do. And the reason why they do that is because they know Caleb Williams can process a defense, can process the NFL a lot quicker, which is why you're seeing what you're seeing. And the results are there. I mean, yesterday we seen Caleb Williams do some things that we know he could do, but the most important part is how quickly he could read the defenses, how well he is in protecting the ball, not turning the ball over, and throwing it away when he had to, take the sacks when he had to. I mean, that right there in itself, I feel like is miles beyond Jaden Daniels.
No, 100%. I agree with you. You know what this reminds me of? And I'm not sure if they were in the same draft class. Maybe, and obviously we have 2 computers in front of us, right? So we could definitely look that up. And obviously, if you guys are watching us on our Facebook and also on our Facebook page, We do have the link for you guys to join our StreamYard. As for our TikTokers, we do apologize. We will keep you updated, but we will keep the conversation going. You also could join us on our Facebook page, JCA Sports Pod, and also subscribe and like onto our YouTube page, JCA Sports Pod 2 as well. I agree. Again, what I was going with was, I don't know if they were in the same draft class, but why do I feel like this is like Andrew Luck RG3 type of situation?
They were in the same draft class.
So
yeah, Andrew Luck went number 1, RG3 went number 2. So it's exactly the same thing, but the difference is, Eric, I feel like Andrew Luck came in.
I feel like he was just as prepared as Caleb Williams. I literally see it like that for some. I don't know why. Ever since this,
it's a really good comparison, and coincidentally, RG3 going to
Washington,
the
Redskins.
But yeah, and then Jaden Daniels to the Commanders for sure. But
and I don't know why. Like, ever since this conversation, probably started like a week ago.
Yeah,
simply because of how poor Caleb has been playing, and obviously last week he had a good game. This week he had a better game than last week, but like this screams a lot of Andrew Luck RG3 between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. Obviously, RG3 had like that flashy splash play right away. As for Andrew Luck, kind of struggled in the beginning, but methodically got better and yet took his team to the playoffs. And I see it the same way too. It's like Caleb Williams is like the more complete quarterback.
Right.
We know Jaden Daniels is more athletic. And if I'm not mistaken, if I know Andrew Luck did not win a Heisman, or maybe he did. I'm not 100% sure. We got the computers right here. It's easy for us to look at it, right? But I'm pretty sure
Andrew Luck did win a Heisman.
Okay, cool. See? And then RG3 also won a Heisman, right? The year after he came out of college, that same year. Like it's like history is literally repeating itself once again with the Commanders back then, but this time it's the Chicago Bears. And I'm just over saying, I'm over here thinking like no matter what, the Chicago Bears to me got it right. They finally got the quarterback that they're supposed to get. They finally got a quarterback that has a lot of expectations coming out of college. It's just, remember, it's also Shane Walden's first 4 games with a new quarterback, with a new group of wide receivers, with a new group of offensive linemen. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take patience. And you could kind of tell yesterday that the Bears offensive line held up a little bit more than the previous 3 games.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely did. But let's also remember that the Rams defense isn't as great as let's say who they faced the week prior.
The 49ers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, well, I'm talking about the Bears. The
Bears, the Colts.
Right. I feel like the Rams defense they were right for the picking.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were right for the picking. So, but 100%, yeah, the offensive line did play well, and you saw that with the running game.
100%.
100%. The running game was there. It was existent. Roshan Johnson was able to.
In that. Huh? I said I'm still disappointed in that.
I mean, Roshan Johnson was able to truck through whenever they needed those short yard plays, and DeAndre Swift went off. DeAndre Swift, Eric, your favorite player, he proved why he needed that, why he deserved that contract. 110 yards, right?
I think so, yeah.
Through the passing and running. I mean, that touchdown play was amazing. I mean, the guy went off.
Hold on, let me check my bench of my fantasy football team so I can get his stats for sure. Until DeAndre Swift, because man, those 20 points look good on the bench, man. I swear. No, Eric, you're absolutely right.
Eric was his biggest hater, guys. So.
Yeah, and wasn't it's not that I was a big hater. I just didn't like. I just didn't like the signing. It being the first signing is what bothered me. You know what I mean? And I know you said in Hard Knocks, so he went 16 for 93 rushing yards with a rushing touchdown and had 7 receptions for 72 yards.
Crazy.
So in other words, if you do your math, it's like 165 yards total.
Wow.
So that was his play.
My boy Prada was in the chat for TikTok. Hey, Prada, I know you're missing DeAndre Swift. Nah, they got Saquon Barkley. He ain't missing.
He ain't missing. And again, we go back to that conversation. I didn't have a problem with DeAndre Swift coming in. I just had a problem with him being the first signing, knowing that there was no need for an upgrade in the running back room.
I think you're seeing that there wasn't need for an upgrade.
No, there really isn't.
There
really wasn't.
Do you think Roshan Johnson would have had that same production? I don't think so.
No, but
because Khalil Herbert didn't need the production, wasn't going to give you that.
But you still had.
That's all you got.
You're right, which was more than enough, and I get
No,
it.
it's not.
And I get it that last year it was mainly more into more of Justin Fields helping the running game. I get that. That's
Justin Fields was our running game.
Justin Fields was a running game, but Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson still got their own, even on top of that.
Well, yeah, because they had to worry about Justin Fields.
And it's still the same thing. And you could tell even yesterday, even through the running plays between Roshan Johnson, you could still tell it's still effective. He still ran the ball for more than 3.8 yards a carry. He got the touchdown on the goal line, what he's supposed to do. It's not really the only thing that's the different is that DeAndre Swift can actually pass catch.
What here. I think a lot of the woes that the running game had the first 3 games was definitely the fact that Caleb Williams is a pass first quarterback.
100%, which is the change.
So they're trying to get they know, hey, we're gonna defend the pass.
Yeah.
Right, because we know this guy's we got to make him beat us, or make the running backs beat us. Either way, they knew, especially with that offensive line and how bad it is. They knew damn well it's gonna be tough. It was gonna be tough for them.
No, 100%, and I get where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying, but to me, it just felt like it wasn't necessary. He had a great game yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I hear you 100%, and I'm glad he had the game that he did had yesterday. It sucked for me fantasy wise, but for the Bears wise, it ended up helping with the W. Right. But the thing is, like, I know we veered off a little bit on the conversation, but I'm fine with Caleb Williams as our quarterback. I did Jaden Daniels is fine. He's a little flash in the plan, but I do believe that Cliff Kingsbury has a lot to do with the success of Jaden Daniels in Washington.
I agree.
And the thing is that he's used to working with young quarterbacks. I mean, he worked with Kyle Murray, right, coming in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then he was also the head coach in college. I forgot, what is it, USC or
he
offensive coordinator or something?
He was offensive coordinator. He's the quarterbacks coach. He was either the quarterbacks or offensive coordinator for Caleb Williams.
Right, in USC.
Which is why the Bears, a lot of people said they should have grabbed him because Caleb already knew his system.
Right, and understood it easy. Yeah. Right. And that was the thing. And Cliff Kingsbury understands how to work with a quarterback, and is probably, now you can say, a quarterback-friendly quarterback or quarterback-friendly coach. As for Shane Waldron, the one thing that we had on Shane Waldron was that he helped Geno Smith be successful his first year in Seattle and taking Seattle into the playoffs and his first year there, right, working with a veteran quarterback. And I think everything was mainly more of let's just be patient with it for it to work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not worried. I'm okay. The Bears are 2-2. If they would have lost yesterday, I think this conversation would have been twisted a whole different other angle. But they're 2-2. Yeah, they got the soft part of the schedule coming up. Now they got the Panthers coming up this week.
Yep.
Then they go to London, in that ugly ass stadium in Tottenham, against the Jaguars, who's also pretty bad too as well. And then they have their bye. And then they have one more game before their tough schedule hits, when they have, all 3 division games back to back to back. They got the 49ers in there. The game, I think it's the Cardinals that they play before everything else. And look, man, the Bears have the perfect opportunity right now to go 4-2, heading before the bye after the London game.
And you know what's could be crazier, Eric?
Listening.
That every single game they were in, we could very well be undefeated. That's wild.
And we could also be 0-4 too as well.
That's very true. Granted, right? And that's very, very true. Very true. But granted, I get it. This is a very easy schedule. But just imagine, like if things went differently,
100%.
Those 2 games that we lost, we could very well be undefeated. And I get you. We could also be 0-2, but
0-4.
0-4. I get it. But that's saying something.
That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot about the Bears and the quality.
It's different when you get blown out and you just know you just suck. You can't do anything. But when your defense is keeping you in the games, that's like, man, the defense we know is great. And when you see glimpses of the offensive and what it can be, if Caleb just had time.
Yeah.
And look, before the game, I don't know if you've seen it, right, Jay? I sent it to you and John in the chat. Jay Glazer from Fox Sports reported that Caleb Williams, Mercedes Lewis, and
DJ
Cole Kmet.
And DJ.
No.
I thought it was DJ.
DJ was not part of it. It was just those 3 guys.
Okay.
Those 3 guys went to Shane Waldron and from what I read, told this isn't a Pop Warner's offense. This isn't Pop Warner. Like we can't sit here and use these mediocre plays. We need something that's good. We need to be more aggressive. Is what they said. We got to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw more aggressive because I don't know how much more aggressive you could be when you had Caleb throw for 52 times in a game. I feel like that's pretty aggressive. But I guess what I meant, I guess what they were looking for was more running play.
Yeah,
or,
no,
at least a diverse play. Of
yeah,
the offense
spread it out, be more balanced.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah, of course. And then obviously Caleb getting his layups, right? He didn't see anything downfield, dump it off to DeAndre Swift, let that happen, right?
Yep.
He didn't see anything, I know you said, well, I'm not sure if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe even 3, probably the second game of the season, that you said that one of the Bears reporters said that Caleb Williams needs to have a play a quarter or something to give the reason why he was the number 1 draft pick, win or lose.
Yeah. Basically said that we for him being the number 1 pick, we need to see at least one play a quarter of him flashing as to why he's the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we've seen that, but it's very odd, Eric. It's very odd. I don't know if I've ever seen a Bear season like this, where it's like, I'm serious. It's like, it's not really. I know we came out here saying, oh, it's the same old Bear season, but it really does feel different.
I know it's definitely different. It feels completely different because the expectations of this offense is different. We're transitioning from defense and running game to defense and passing game.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm not a hot take guy. I've never been, and I won't, and I don't like being that guy, but there's part of me when I'm looking at Caleb and I'm like, bro, like, he's a better decision maker than Justin and Mitch combined.
Right.
He's a better quarterback in the pocket than Justin and Mitch combined.
Yeah.
He has the pocket awareness. He sees the offense different. He does this. He does that, bro. There's part of me who's like, man, bro, this is like even as a rookie in 4 games, he's even a better processor than Jay Cutler was here with the Chicago Bears. And it's not me glazing how these young kids say it nowadays. It's not me stroking Caleb Williams thing. It's just me noticing we went from Rex Grossman to Kyle Orton to Jay Cutler to Mike Glennon to Mitchell Trubisky to Justin Fields to Caleb Williams, and it's completely different overall.
Right.
I understand that Justin and Mitch are probably miles athletic wise than Caleb Williams is. And that's cool. I'll take that. I'd rather have the quarterback that I have right now in Caleb Williams, less athletic, but more quarterback pocket presence.
Yeah.
The JCA Sport Podcast. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on TikTok. TikTok. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about the Chicago Bears. We do a sports podcast of Chicago sports, and we do go nationally every once in a while too. As for our viewers on YouTube and also on Facebook, our link is on the comment section. If you guys want to join us, excuse me, I apologize. If you do want to join us, our link is on here. Give us your thoughts. What do you think about the Chicago Bears game yesterday? Do you feel like Caleb Williams is the right quarterback? Did the Bears make the right choice, should I say, in drafting Caleb Williams as a quarterback this past draft?
Yeah.
As we look more into the future, right, Jose? And we started off the show in part 1 saying that, this was probably, or I was saying this is like the low bar for Caleb Williams as a bad game for him here on out.
Right.
I don't count the first 2, 3. It's in his stats. I don't count him as bad because he's a rookie and obviously it's a slow start. But I feel like this performance that he had yesterday, once he gets the experience, once he plays a lot of games, once he plays and understands the game a lot more better, like the low bar expectation for Caleb Williams was yesterday's performance. Or was it last week him throwing 50 some odd yards, or 52 times, 300? I feel like that's more of we're better. We're in that type of game type of thing. Like yesterday was kind of like
No,
it was how they
Ye-
it was
yesterday-
mid.
Yesterday was honestly I liked yesterday's game
I do too.
a little bit more. And only for the simple fact because again, no mistakes.
100%.
He did not turn the ball over. You saw him connect for a touchdown with DJ Moore, which is pivotal.
Yeah.
Pivotal because we all know the connection DJ Moore had with Justin Fields. We need that same connection with Caleb Williams. It's going to
100%.
take time. That chemistry has to be there, and it only takes one touchdown. So we definitely needed it for sure.
No, for sure. Oh man. So what do you think, Jose? Do you think the Bears can go 3-0 the next couple games and go 4-2?
Well, they got Carolina next. That's
at home.
At home, that should be a win. That should definitely be a win. So I want to say yes after Carolina. The schedule. What's after Carolina?
The Jaguars in London.
Jaguars in London. Look, Jaguars are going to be a tough out, especially when you're going overseas. I don't care who you are. I mean that's going to be a tough out. I want to say yes, we should beat them, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lose.
Or we go all the way to London and lose.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I would chalk it up as a win for now. I would say the Bears will go out there, so they definitely should win the next two games, and then after let me check the schedule. But after they face the Jaguars in London,
I think it's Arizona on the road, and then they got the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, like back to back to back.
So after the London game, they're in bye week. It's a bye week.
It's right. I know
bye
that.
Week 7, then week 8, that's the Commanders.
Oh, the Commanders. That's what.
That's going to be good because again, we're comparing Jaden Daniels with Caleb Williams, right? And that's the scary part is we don't know what these two quarterbacks are going to be. I mean, it could very well just switch where Caleb Williams is hot and Jaden Daniels starts to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
So we really don't know how these two quarterbacks are going to be, but they're going to be compared to each other 100%. The last thing we want is another CJ Stroud. We don't want to be the Carolina Panthers where they passed up on CJ Stroud.
Nah. I get where you're going with that take. I don't think so. Because we already know.
I'm not saying that's the case. All I'm saying is that we don't want that. The Bears don't want that. Us fans, the Bears, we don't want that.
No, for sure. I get that. I hear that percent. And like I said, I mentioned
it's possible. So somebody said today, and I agree. Caleb Williams can be a very competent quarterback, good quarterback here in Chicago, and Jaden Daniels still can be better. And if that's the case, we missed out. We messed up. It's possible. I'm not saying it's likely. I think the complete opposite is more likely than not. But I won't be surprised if that's the case.
I would be surprised if that's the case, because then it goes to the it goes to the same circle that the Bears had, that they can't get the right quarterback. You know what I mean? When we finally thought that we got the right quarterback, we don't have the right quarterback at the end of the day. Accolades aside in college, but you could definitely tell that this is not CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. You could definitely tell that these both quarterbacks are a notch above of what CJ Stroud was last year, and definitely 3, 5, 6, 7 notches above Bryce Young, what he was last year, right? And again, I think what I mentioned earlier, I think the comparison of Andrew Luck and RG3 is probably the perfect scenario that we could compare these two or these four quarterbacks together on what they were. Now, look, I won't mind if Jaden Daniels wins MVP rookie of the year. Like, that won't surprise me. That won't shock me. That won't even affect me.
Okay.
Right? As long as my quarterback at the end of the day sustains success and continues to grow and continues to get better game after game, week after week, year after year, I will be more satisfied than having a little flash in the pan in Jaden Daniels and then having his ability. Because you could easily see, like, there's not a lot of success of quarterbacks of his playing style having success. Right? Yeah, and you can name a few. And he might be one of those people that fall into that category that will have success, like the Cam Newtons, like the Lamar Jacksons. But those are the only two so far.
Yeah.
RG3 had a great first year. Then he tore his ACL the year after and hasn't been the same. Kyler Murray, I think, is also the same stature. Justin Fields looking like he's a little bit, comfortable and better in Pittsburgh, what we've seen in highlights. But even given that, bro, like it's one of those situations to where, like, it's going to be a great quarterback battle between these two if both stay healthy. And I think that game probably might be flexed from a 12 o'clock game to probably a mid afternoon or
mean,
night game.
it should be, especially if these quarterbacks start heating it up. I mean, Jaden Daniels is already hot. He's gonna continue. He's gonna go. He's gonna continue to go off. But if Caleb Williams starts turning it around, then yeah, 100%.
And it's funny, my boy Caesar. What up, Caesar? Saying bear down. Fuck you, Eric. I love you. Only reason why he says that is because I am facing him in one of my fantasy football. And this. Look at the scenario that I'm in right now, bro. In one league, I am down 20 some odd points, and I have Atchin and DJ Metcalf. In the league that I'm facing Caesar, he has those two players. Oh, so that's my dilemma. I'm losing and I'm beating him. Oh my God. Fantasy football at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is for sure. But yes, the link is in the comment section, guys. If you guys want to join us, that's the link right there. If you want to join us on our StreamYard and our YouTube page, thank you for our followers. Thank you for the likes and the views on TikTok. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. If you guys have a question on TikTok, we will relay it on over and talk about it too as well. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook and also subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Same goes for everybody on Facebook and YouTube as well. Follow us on our TikTok page where we are live currently as well. And then obviously hit the like and subscribe on YouTube. He says you're only up by 12, little guy. Wow. Little.
There ain't nothing little about this guy.
Well, my big toe. That's the only thing that's little for sure. No diddy. Going back, and we spoke about Justin Fields, my guy. And obviously you like to revisit, I guess, your ex in Justin Fields.
Not my ex, but the Bears ex.
Yeah, it's
we like to do this thing called who's winning the breakup. Is Justin Fields winning the breakup, going to the Steelers, having success, being with a better coach than Mike Tomlin, or is the Bears winning the breakup with their new quarterback, one that they drafted to be the generational franchise type quarterback? Who's winning the breakup, Eric? In your eyes, are the Bears at the moment winning the breakup with Caleb Williams, or is Justin Fields winning the breakup with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin?
If we're doing this by boxing style, right? Because that's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
By boxing.
Got it.
They're both split 2-2.
Why?
I think Justin Fields won the first game. Obviously because
first round. Okay.
First round, right? Week two, obviously, week two to me, Caleb looked a little bit more impressive. We see all the stats and everything. We seen everything. Caleb won me that week. Last week, obviously, his what was it? His 360 some odd yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, throwing for 52 times, right? Yeah. To me, that one was that I'd rather have a quarterback that performance, whether win or lose. That's personally me, my choice. But yesterday, I spoke to my brother. My brother lives down in Indy, so they actually had the Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers game. So I asked him the question earlier today, like, how did you see Justin? And he said, same old Justin like he was here in the Bears. He had his good moments and he had some not so good moments. If he had a decent line, who knows how good, he'd pick that defense apart. And there was a lot of highlights that I saw yesterday and today. And obviously, and looking at his stats, that's one thing that we're looking at. His stats was 23 for 34 for 312 yards, 1 touchdown. He got a QBR of 60.5, 4 sacks for 30, but he also had 10 carries for 55 and 2 touchdowns as well. So he had a grand total of 3 touchdowns in a losing effort. Yeah. Given what the game managing game that Caleb Williams had yesterday, Justin Fields never had a game close to like this that he had with the Chicago Bears. And this week, Justin won this round.
Okay, so far Justin's up. So far, Justin Fields is winning the breakup. Based off solely alone, I mean, he has a better. I would like to say Mike Tomlin's a way better coach than Matty Rogers.
1,000%. I would like that's not even a discussion, nor a debate.
In Pittsburgh
is 10 times
is established.
Yeah, it's been for years. There's a reason why they've only had 3 head coaches in the last 50 years. 40 years.
Longer than that. And I mean, and they haven't since Mike Tomlin's been a coach, they haven't had a losing season.
Nope.
But he's gonna get the best out of Justin Fields
For sure.
But does that mean we made a bad decision in not getting the right coach or getting the right system
100%
for Justin Fields?
We had endless conversations about how this team wasn't designed for Justin to succeed.
Yeah.
Remember, he came in with Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy destroyed the kid.
Yeah.
The year after, Ryan Poles decides to come in with Matt Eberflus. He tore everything down.
Yeah.
Last year, they finally gave him a little bit of weapons. He gave career numbers to DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. He still had records upon that. Plus, even with that, he had the rushing record 2 years prior.
Yeah.
The unfortunate situation about Justin Fields is the fact that his contract was going to be up, and you needed to rebuild this team the right way. Justin Fields never had an opportunity to succeed here from the moment he got drafted with Nagy and Pace.
Right.
I was excited for Justin. I saw it in what I saw yesterday in highlights with Justin Fields was the Justin Fields that I wanted to see here in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I knew that wasn't going to happen because he never had the opportunity to do so. Nor he was actually given that opportunity.
Yeah.
And the little opportunity that he was given, it wasn't enough. But I think their minds was already made up on Justin a long time ago, especially with the pick that they were going to get number one.
The fact that Ryan Poles didn't draft him himself.
Him
coming in, he knew he was hey, I have to get my own people in here, right? That's going to be indicative of him and what he's able to build here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Got his coach in Matt Eberflus, got his quarterback in Caleb Williams. You've seen the way he's constructed this team around Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what he wanted. So he got that, and I get it, and I understand it fully. And the way it's going, Caleb Williams is supposed to be a better quarterback. And again,
he is. He definitely looks like he's a better quarterback. Pocket awareness and everything.
As far as the position goes, yes, 100%. He's a better quarterback. Justin obviously is a better athlete. But it's important to see what comes from this season for sure. Because again, those guys are always going to be synonymous to each other because of how it played out. If let's just play what if, right? If Justin Fields could win a Super Bowl or a championship in Pittsburgh, then that's definitely always going to be the comparison. Just like how Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson's always going to be a comparison because we should have drafted
Deshaun and or Patrick.
Well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, I think we both agreed that it was more likely for them that they should have got Watson because nobody really knew Mahomes other than Matt Nagy, right? He wasn't going to be like that great.
Yeah, supposedly, right?
But nobody knew Mahomes was going to be that good other than Matt Nagy. But everybody knew Deshaun Watson was supposed to be a sure thing coming out of college.
Yeah, for sure.
And we went with the unknown in Mitch Trubisky, and we've seen how that played out.
100%. And that's why Pace
is gone.
It's gone.
Right.
That's why Matt Nagy is gone. Because he couldn't get anything out of him, man.
But just like that, they're going to be synonymous with each other. So is Jaden Daniels with Caleb Williams. So is Justin Fields with Caleb Williams. Yeah. That's why, we're scared. We have the PTSD because if it doesn't work out with Caleb Williams, we're going to be like, bro, we had Justin Fields, and we had an opportunity to draft Jaden Daniels. Why wasn't our GM or our scouts seeing what the Cardinals team, or even with Cliff Kingsbury, right? We have Shane Waldron. I get it. Seattle looked great with Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a reason why this offense hasn't really came to fruition or came alive in these first 4 games. So then why didn't we look at Cliff Kingsbury? Why? Especially if he has that connection with
Caleb.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing the Bears always do. They always seem to make the wrong decision. When we were supposed to get
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians. Thank you. We're right there. When we were supposed to get Bruce Arians, bro.
And we got Mark Trestman. And the fact that he replaced Lovie Smith on top of that. Good old Mark Trestman. At least he gave us some type of hope on the offense with Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall.
That year when Josh McCown came in for Jay Cutler when he was hurt, and we were on that.
Yeah.
And We were top 2 in offense.
Yeah, we were.
That was the last time we've ever seen it. That was probably the only time we've ever seen that in our whole lives.
Yeah, where the offense was better than the defense, but that defense was atrocious.
Bro, we were.
That was a train. That was a train wreck.
Yeah, the year after, back-to-back 50 burgers from
Oof.
Patriots and
the
Green Bay.
Packers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, how I like to flush that memory down the toilet, but unfortunately, it's very, very stuck in my head.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but I get it. I know where you're coming from, and I get everybody's. I personally don't even come close to seeing it like that, right? For entertainment purpose, for podcast purpose, I bring it up to have this conversation about it. But for me, like I really don't care what Jaden Daniels is doing
or Justin Fields
Justin Fields is doing.
I'm with you on that one. Obviously, we're being toxic for show purposes, but I agree. But I agree with you 100%.
Love it.
What Caleb is able to do is all that really matters.
Yeah, for sure.
All that really matters. And after this last game, there's definitely a lot of positive. 100%.
Oh yeah, and it shows that the future is bright. Right, and I was trying to think of a smarter word, but I couldn't. But the future is bright. I mean, Caleb Williams is the guy. Caleb Williams is the quarterback, and you could tell the process that he has. He stands in that pocket. He absorbs that pressure. He sees what he's supposed to see. Right.
Yeah.
And whether if he's the number 1 draft pick with that's a game manager, but has some exciting plays, great. That's fine by me. That's cool. Are we getting wins? Are we moving closer? You can still build around him, but God damn, bro, that offensive line though, even though it held up somewhat yesterday, needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
It needs a lot of work, man. And I'm tired of getting, even though 2 sacks didn't count because of defensive penalties, bro. It just looks really, really bad that Caleb at any single moment that he drops back, he's bound to get hit.
Yeah.
He's bound to get hit.
Well, I mean, our offensive line, it's
again, like
it's a makeshift offensive line because again, it's not like we had talented guys to begin with, and now with everybody getting hurt, it's kind of like, hey. But the one thing I would say is that they had a lot more pride yesterday.
Oh yeah, you could definitely saw. You saw that. You definitely saw that.
They were not going to get. They came in with the game. They were not going to get dog walked like they were the last couple of games. When you see a good run by DeAndre Swift or Roshan Johnson, or when Caleb had time to throw. You seen it in their expression. These guys were ready. They were happy. They were fist pumping.
Yeah.
They were running. They were excited.
Kokomet doing his thing, doing the work. Kramer being a fullback as a I get it. I see it.
Yes.
And it goes by what Caesar says right here. Happy we won, but that very injured Rams. So I don't know how to really feel about it. And you're right, because they had no Puka Nacua.
No.
They had no Cooper Kupp. Tutu Atwell was the number 1 wide receiver. And he's probably going to be for a while. And if people have him in his fantasy football league, that's great. But the thing is, but yes, defensively, it's not the same. They've looked better without Aaron Donald. They build a lot, or since Aaron Donald left last year or this year. But you're right. I don't think there was an actual threat on the Rams defense to where of what it was from Sweat from the Titans week 1.
Yeah.
Definitely from the 2-headed monster and Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson last week. The Bears got lucky last week not having a Dwight Freeney on there, but they Latu, the linebacker from UCLA. I apologize for messing up his name, but he wreaked havoc last week on Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
There wasn't that type of person yesterday. There wasn't anybody other than Verse. But those 2 sacks that he got were nullified because of defensive pass, and he never did anything after that.
Aaron Donald was not on that defensive line.
No, definitely not.
No Aaron Donald. No. There was no Leonard Floyd. There was no that was not the same Rams defense that when they won the championship for sure.
100.
And that's what I'm saying. So going into these next couple of games, it's going to be tougher because you're going to face. You should be facing tougher defense. Maybe not in Carolina, but in Jacksonville, I believe so. Once you get to the Vikings, man, that's going to be a tough game. Once you get to the Packers, it's going to be a tough game. So
I think the Panthers got the guy that the Bears were wanting to trade, Burns. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But every game in our division is going to be tough.
And speaking of the division,
because our division's tough.
And that's where I was going to go with right now. The JCA Sport Podcast here on YouTube, Facebook. We're on live on both, and then we're also live on TikTok. Thank you, everybody watching us on TikTok. Hello, everybody on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. Our link is on here too as well. If you guys want to join us, we do apologize. We had technical difficulties in the beginning of the show, but we're running this and we're trying to run this on a timely manner, right? Timely manner. Yeah, of course. Jose, my question to you and to everybody out there and our social media platforms, thank you guys. Are the Bears still the worst team in the NFC North?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if you think about it, right? We all know the Lions are not only division contenders, they're Super Bowl contenders. The Detroit Lions,
Yeah,
the Detroit Lions are Super Bowl contenders.
I agree.
We expected them to be good,
Yep.
to be great,
Uh-huh.
to have a chance at winning a championship.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Bay Packers were a team where we're like, okay, Jordan Love had a good team, but we know Matt LaFleur. You insert anybody there, and you know Matt LaFleur, he's going to have that team
100%.
there. And you've seen it. Even with Jordan Love going down, they had
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis, and they were still winning games.
Mm-hmm.
They were still winning games. And then the Vikings are probably the surprise.
That's the one that nobody saw. That's the nobody saw coming.
Nobody saw coming.
Nope.
And it's scary to see how good they really are. The fact that they're still undefeated, Eric. Still undefeated.
And the fact that how they let's be completely honest. I didn't watch the second half of that game simply because the Vikings were dog washing the Packers yesterday in the first half. I stopped watching it because I'm like, and I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm just like, this cannot be. This is not the same Sam Darnold that went from Carolina with a bad organization.
No way.
The same Sam Darnold that went to the Jets and got replaced by Zach Wilson, and obviously replaced by Aaron Rodgers, who also replaced Zach Wilson. Like, this is not the same Sam Darnold. But Kevin O'Connell, man, you got to give credit where credit is due, and that's the guy that's been giving them a lot of.
Because what was the one thing we always said about the Vikings? Kirk Cousins is going to ruin it for them. Kirk Cousins is going to choke. Kirk Cousins is going to throw interceptions. Kirk Cousins can't play on
prime time. He sucks.
He sucks at prime time.
Yeah,
can't win a playoff. He's not here anymore.
And no, he's not.
Sam Darnold's looking like the second coming of Tom Brady.
Fuck shit,
what
bro.
The fuck is
That's
going
fucking
on?
crazy.
Crazy.
But you know what? I'm bold enough to sit here, week 4, right? I'm bold enough to sit here and say that the downfall of the Minnesota Vikings is coming. They don't convince me. And maybe I still need a little bit more convincing of them dominating these teams, because they dominated the shit out of the Texans that beat the shit out of us a couple weeks ago.
But the Texans really didn't beat the shit out of us.
Well, you're right. They did. They struggled.
They got to the quarterback, but again, it was a winnable game.
It still was a winnable game. Yeah, I get it. Whatever happened in the second half where the Packers started making that comeback, to me, they dog walked the shit out of the Packers.
The Vikings, look, I agree with what you're saying. The Vikings are a surprise team right now.
100%.
But get some more tape on it and get some good teams on there, and they're going to, you're right, the downfall's coming. Just same thing with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Those quarterbacks are going to struggle. Look, Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. And I feel like even if they go 6-0, even if they go undefeated against the Chicago Bears, I still don't, like, they still wouldn't convince me. Like, something is about to happen to where, like, the Vikings aren't to me, they're still pretenders, even though they're 4-0.
Yeah.
They're still pretenders in my eyes, and they are contenders. You're right. And Caesar said, yes, sadly, the Bears are the worst team in the division, right? Quarterback-wise, Caleb Williams, 3rd best, 4th even.
Right.
Obviously, Sam Darnold having the year that he's having, Jordan Love, even with his injury, you probably would still have to take Jordan Love, maybe, possibly. Jared Goff is Jared Goff with the Lions. And Caesar said they barely beat us. Chill. And you're absolutely right.
Sure.
Coaching wise, we probably have the worst coaching staff in the league, compared to the other 3.
Yeah.
Defense is the only defense where you're thinking about, like, all right, we're number 2.
I think we're number 1. I honestly think we're number 1.
Yeah.
I think we have more turnovers. I think we do quality players.
We do.
I think defense is the only thing we got going for us in the division right now.
Defense and punting.
Coaching. Special teams and defense.
God, jeez, this sounds like 06-07, right? Oh my God.
What's new?
Right. It's the same old story. It's suavemente at a fucking quinceañera, bro. That's what it is. This is what we're doing. It's the same song at every Hispanic quinceañera or wedding. It's the Caballo Dorado and Suavemente, bro.
Honestly, what's new?
There's nothing really new. But and in all
Same
honesty,
shit,
bro,
different story.
exactly, bro. Then in all honesty, it's just there's the high hopes and the high expectations that we had for the Chicago Bears, for them to still feel like they're still the worst team in the division. Granted, because nobody saw the Vikings coming. Nobody saw the Vikings coming playing like this, bro. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
JC Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, and also we're live on TikTok. Hello, TikTok world. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, JCA Sports Pod, and follow us on Facebook, JCA Sports Pod too as well. And then also JCA Sports Pod on TikTok, where we're going to be live on our shows too as well. Better setup. We're going to be better next week. We do apologize for our technical difficulties earlier on all our
platforms. We'll get it together.
Eventually. We'll get it together eventually. All right, man. We're going to close out the show with Tom Brady.
Crazy.
Tom Brady or Bear?
Well,
do you even remember this happening back in 2020?
Let's close out with two things. Okay,
right.
Let's go start with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's saying that he almost became a Bear is probably the most Bear thing you could possibly hear.
It's the most Chicago thing.
Yes, it's the most Chicago thing we could possibly hear. And this ties in next with the next topic I wanted to talk about, which was Derrick Rose retiring.
Oh, yeah.
Because just like how we said Tom Brady becoming a Bear is the most Chicago thing, because LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh all considered coming to Chicago to play with Derrick Rose, but it didn't happen.
Nope.
Did not happen.
Same thing with Kobe.
We're just destined for heartbreak. I don't know what it is.
The same thing with Kobe.
Thank God for the Blackhawks, because I mean they won some championships.
The Cubs in that 2016
baseball teams are both trash.
2016 Cubs is a little bit more memorable.
They both caught lightning in a bottle. But yeah,
speak for yourself.
They both caught lightning.
No, they did not.
The
Cubs, you saw it coming. 15 was unexpected. Nobody saw that. That was lightning in a bottle. Everybody expected 16.
Right.
Everybody expected 17.
17, we didn't win a championship.
17, we went to the NLCS.
I'm talking about straight up championship.
I get it. I think it's mainly more disappointing how the Cubs were and how they ended and how they faltered, because Kyle Hendricks, last member yesterday, last game.
We don't got to debate about it. I'm with you. I'm solely talking about consistency in championships. The
Blackhawks, what, 3-6?
Other than the Bulls in the 90s, the Blackhawks in the 2010s have been the only ones to do it.
At 3-6. Yeah, man, destined for heartbreak, bro. And again, it's so Chicago. It is very so Chicago, with Tom Brady saying that he had an offer from the Chicago Bears. And to be honest, you have to give somewhat credit. I'm talking
Ryan
about
Pace, yeah.
Ryan Pace.
The fact that Tom Brady said, "Hey, they were very stealth in their pursuit," and the fact that it was down on those two teams.
teams.
You give credit, all the credit in the world to Ryan Pace.
Yeah, Ryan Pace did his work. I mean,
here's a question though: did we win a championship with Tom
definitely
Brady?
not? Nope.
Who the hell was he throwing to?
He will have. Well, he had Allen Robinson for sure.
That's it. No, there was it.
I don't know. Keep talking to the. Let me look at the roster for 2020.
Young Darnell Mooney, no, bro. We don't even gotta go there. It makes no sense.
Darnell Mooney.
Shit,
rookie Darnell Mooney, right?
We don't even gotta go there, Eric. It makes no sense.
I'm going there.
It makes no sense. He would not have won in Chicago. He had a way better roster in Tampa Bay. The defense was amazing. Offense, Chris Godwin went off.
He made the right choice.
He made 100%. Bruce Arians was the coach.
And he said that's what he liked about Bruce Arians.
Right.
You know, so all right.
we don't gotta go through it. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter.
All right. I'm going by position. Right. 2020. I think that's the year that we got. Isn't that the year that we got Trubisky? Or was it? No, Trubisky was 17, right? 16, 17. Our quarterbacks were Nick Foles, Tyler Bray, and Mitchell Trubisky.
Yep.
Move along, Mitch. Sorry. Our running backs were Tyreek Cohen that's explosive, David Montgomery, who got it done, and obviously Cordell Patterson was on there, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's our wide receivers and tight end. Our wide receivers were Riley Ridley, Allen Robinson. You're right. Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller, a very young Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, a Ted Ginn Jr., Javon Wims. Everybody knows.
Maybe our tight ends would have been like a Gronk and Aaron Hernandez type.
Probably our two.
Minus the murders.
Stupid. You're so fucking stupid.
But
Alex Barr, James Daniel,
Jermaine
Jermaine Nafetti, Charles Leno,
Tom Brady,
Sam Mustipher,
Thank you for breaking
Cody
our heart.
Whitehair.
Thank you for breaking our hearts. Thank
Nah,
you
man,
for-
he did that shit. He did that shit on purpose, bro.
Thank you.
Because
Take your time, Brady.
he did that shit on purpose. And again, they use
Like
Chicago
we're not,
as
like we're not already depressed as it is. You just gotta go and make it worse.
Derrick Rose, man. Yeah, you're right. Derrick Rose retired.
Derrick Rose retiring. I was in love with the Derrick Rose teams.
I think everybody was.
I was in love. I would watch every single game, Eric. Even
You more than me, bro.
I DVR'd every game. Even if I knew the outcome, I would still go home and watch it in its entirety, every single one, because I was just. I would say NBA and basketball was probably my sport.
Number 1 and 2.
Number one, and it was all because of those teams with Derrick Rose. Even when he was hurt, just like the way they stuck together, I was there 100% of the way. It all went away when he got traded. He needed to get traded. I was one of the guys that said he needed to get traded.
Yeah.
That team needed to blow up, but just hasn't been the same since. The Chicago Bulls, and maybe because it's owned by Reinsdorf and that embarrassing.
That's exactly what it is.
But
Fucking coward.
It really ruined basketball for me. It's hard to watch basketball, because I just have no love or passion for it anymore like I used to.
You already know how I feel about the Bulls.
I watch it. I watch the playoffs because I like the playoffs, but otherwise it's tough. So
you already know how I feel about the Bulls. I'm this close.
Yeah,
I'm this close.
So congratulations to Derrick Rose on an amazing career.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for all the memories.
The biggest what if? The biggest what if in sports history?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I include my sport in soccer too as well.
Yeah.
I definitely include that. Derrick Rose is definitely the biggest what if story in all of sports.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I was lucky enough to see Derrick Rose at Simeon when we played against Carver. I was lucky enough to see Derrick Rose in his high school year. Bro, oh my God. Derrick Rose in high school, animal. Like, you know when you see somebody and you're just like,
he got it.
That motherfucker got it.
He's it. Yeah.
He's it. Oh my God, bro. Derrick Rose and Simeon, bro. I was blessed enough to see that.
Yeah.
And I was unfortunate enough to see Derrick Rose after the injuries. Like, I've seen both. So night and day, bro. So night and day. Bro, I felt like he would jump even above the rim in high school, bro. Like I would like there was times even in high school that I went out of my way to go see Simeon basketball at Simeon to watch Derrick Rose. Like, oh my God, dude, the hype around Derrick Rose in Chicago, bro.
So. We saw it. He was an MVP.
We saw it. He was an MVP here. MVP. Like, and what I saw, I mean, obviously what I saw in Memphis, I'm like, damn, bro, I saw that shit in front of my face. When I saw the Bulls, I didn't go to the Bulls games until afterwards. But when I saw Derrick Rose on TV, I'm like, bro, this motherfucker.
Too big,
God,
too
man,
fast,
dude. The fact that his injuries is what killed him, and obviously him and Russell Westbrook having the same size, same stature, same injuries and stuff like that, and he came out a little bit better, stronger, and than Derrick Rose ever did. I personally still believe we ran him out of town. I personally believe that Chicago media definitely put a negative negative eye on Derrick Rose, you know, and the own fan base even turned on him. Yeah. Now, like you said, you were one of the ones that loved the Chicago Bulls teams, right? You were the ones that said that the Bulls, you and John said that the Chicago Bulls were, if it wasn't for the injuries, they would have won the championship.
Yeah, we agree.
I am at the other end of that conversation simply because of what the Bulls and how they were and how they were ran.
Right.
And man, bro, like you say those memes, those videos, like, you know, Dad, why are you crying? And you're watching highlights of Derrick Rose back in the day, bro. It's kind of like
always.
Fuck,
That's always
man.
gonna be me.
Man, dude, like
100%.
Thank you, Derrick, for the memories. Thank you, Derrick, for the MVP. You've been the most important player in Chicago basketball history since Jordan left. And ironically enough, we were talking about the Chicago Bulls, and they decided today was their media day presence, and the Chicago Bulls today. Putting there right now, the Bulls will not win no more than 25 games this year. Fuck, bro. I'm this close. And we're gonna have more episodes on our JCA Sports podcast.
Real quick, we're about to end it right now.
Yeah.
But how fitting was it that Benetti, who used to be the play-by-play guy for the Chicago White Sox, I didn't know he got ran out by the White Sox. The White Sox owner organization, they kicked him out because he was either too analytical, or too inside jokey, whatever it was. He goes to Detroit, and he's the one who caused not only Detroit winning and going to the playoffs, but the White Sox losing and breaking the record for the most loss in a single season for a franchise.
And they make the playoffs.
How fitting was that? There's no more of a joke than the Chicago White Sox.
I fucking agree. Fuck the White Sox. If I was
crazy, it's karma at its finest.
Definitely. I would have been one of the guys that would have taken a sign and said, "Sell the Bulls, but keep the Sox." He's a baseball guy. He says he claims he's a baseball guy, but I'm the guy that says, sell the Bulls, keep the Sox, do whatever you need to do. Jerry, you're a joke of an owner. Jerry, you are nothing but a lying son of a bitch.
We're out of here.
You are nothing but a money grabbing bastard. You don't care about the sports, even though you claim you got us.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
And it is true, man. I only feel half of it from the Chicago Bulls. I could care less about the White Sox. He could take the White Sox out of Chicago, and nobody would even bat an eye. Nobody would even care other than those, 60 diehard White Sox fans out there. I wouldn't give a shit. Sell the Bulls, keep the Sox. I don't care. The Sox is going to be garbage for the next 7 years. But I am this close to giving up the Chicago Bull fandom, bro, and finding a new basketball team.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook and YouTube, and also live on TikTok. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, Caesar, Josh, Juice, I see you joined too as well. Everybody, thank you. Make sure you guys follow us on our YouTube page. Subscribe. Make sure you follow us and subscribe on our Facebook page and also on our TikTok page. Follow us. Subscribe. For Jose Contreras, I am Eric Avila. John will be with us soon. We will see you guys next week, hopefully for another Victory Bears Monday. Thank you guys. We love y'all. Peace.
You're now listening to the JCA Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor.